guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite books that have something to do with magic users. So, for this top 5, I'm focusing on witches, wizards, warlocks, magicians, illusionists, that sort of thing. You get the idea. Any sort of book that has magic as a theme or has characters who can use or wield magic. So, at number 5, I have The Witches from Macbeth by William Shakespeare. And the title of this video is a direct line from Macbeth. It's one of the most popular lines that comes from Macbeth, I think. But yeah, I love the story of Macbeth. If you don't know what Macbeth is about, it's about this Scottish guy, and he just gets a lot of power thrown at him all of a sudden, and he starts to get power hungry, but his wife, Lady Macbeth, is even more power hungry than him, and there's just this series of events that lead to him getting more and more power, but him getting more and more crazy and paranoid and power hungry, and it's all sorts of great. And the thing is, the reason he gets so power hungry, it mostly just has to do with this whole notion of prophecy. And Macbeth, he runs across these 3 witches, and they foretell this prophecy about him, and he gets all these ideas in his head, you know, and he doesn't know if the prophecy is real or fake. So yeah, I love the role that the witches play in Macbeth. And it works, you know. Sometimes Shakespeare, when he uses supernatural things, sometimes it can be a little, what the hell is this, you know, but the witches in Macbeth, they totally work, they fit in, they serve a function and a purpose. At number 4, I have Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunter universe by Cassandra Clare. I say the Shadowhunter universe because Magnus Bane is in pretty much every single series in the universe. He at least makes some sort of cameo appearance everywhere. But yeah, oh my god, guys, Magnus Bane. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, when I read the book, that's exactly who I have pictured in my head. But yeah, I love Magnus Bane. The Shadowhunter universe, it's this world that consists of people known as Shadowhunters, and they have like angelic blood running in their veins, and they fight the forces of darkness, and there's vampires and werewolves and fairies and magicians and whatnot, and Magnus Bane is a warlock, and he uses his magic to help serve the greater good. And he's easily just one of my favorite characters. Magnus has the best dialogue, the best style, the best wit, and I just love how Cassandra Clare writes whenever he uses magic. It's just so atmospheric, you can feel it, you can see it visually. It's just really cool, his style of magic. And of course, Harry Potter had to make this list, you guys. It is at number 3. I couldn't really decide on like a character for my number 3. Really, number 3 is just the entirety of the Harry Potter universe. I mean, come on, J.K. Rowling, she created this world. It's so believable and magical, and it's a place that you want to go live in. You know, I would love to be in this universe and interact with these characters and be in a Hogwarts house and have a wand, you know. It's just such a beautiful world that J.K. Rowling has created. Just so beloved, you know, it's going to continue to be a classic for hundreds of years. But yeah, if I had to pick at least one character, Hermione. I mean, come on. I feel like I am a Hermione at heart. I feel like Hermione is like my twin sister. You know, the nerdiness and the loving to read, you know, and sometimes kind of being a little bit snobby, you know. That's kind of me. I sometimes have a little bit of snobbery in me like Hermione does. At number 2, I have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and the 2 characters I want to focus on in particular are Celia and Marco. If you don't know what The Night Circus is about, it's about this magical, mystical circus that only pops up at night. You can kind of walk around throughout the day, there's nothing there out on the field, and then you wake up the very next morning and ta-da, there is the circus. It's just been put up overnight, and no one knows how, no one knows why. It's all a big fantastical mystery. So what happens in the Night Circus, the big plot going on, is that it's a big magical duel between Celia and Marco. Their mentors are trying to push them to their limits, push their magic. And the thing is, Celia and Marco, this kind of being a love story, obviously, they end up kind of falling in love with one another, even though it's forbidden. And I freaking love this book, you guys. It is just so fun and entertaining. It's one of the most atmospheric novels I've perhaps ever written. That's the thing about this novel. When people talk about it, they talk about how atmospheric it is. And you can see everything, you can taste everything, you can hear everything. It really plays off your senses. It's kind of weird how it does that. It's hard to describe unless you've read this. And I just love the nature of magic in this book. It's done in such an interesting and clever way. There's nothing overly fantastical about it. There's a certain sort of realism to it. And at number 1, you might have already guessed this if you haven't already, I have chosen Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. Whew, oh boy, I love this book, you guys. It's this cross between J.K. Rowling and Charles Dickens and Jane Austen. It's like, if you like those three things and you like them combined, I think you'll really love this. This book, it reads almost like a work of classic literature, you know, not in a bad way. I don't want people to think, oh, I hate classic literature, you know, but this reads like classic literature in a good way. It's really good with the themes and symbolism and just the writing. There's something old-fashioned about the writing, I suppose, is what makes me say that it has a classic feel to it. There's something very old-fashioned, like Susanna Clarke, she wrote this back in the 1800s, and this book time traveled to you know, the modern era, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you don't know what Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is about, it's about these two rival magicians. You have Mr. Norrell, who represents everything that is old and traditional and conservative, and he likes magic the way it is. He doesn't want to do anything new with it. But then you have Jonathan Strange, who comes in. He's younger, he's more charismatic, he's more flashy, and he wants to experiment with magic. He wants to push the limits of magic. So of course, this is how Strange and Norrell, they start clashing, but Strange becomes Norrell's pupil, so there's this very interesting dynamic going on. And I love magic in this novel. It's so freaking good, so fun. Just some different uses of magic that I've never seen in other books. I don't want to sit and give away too many details about the magic in this, because I feel like it might spoil some of the excitement and thrilling nature of the magic. So yeah, that's it for my top 5. In the comments below, what books do you guys like that feature magic, or if there's a magician or warlock or illusionist or whatever, just share those books down below with me so I can check them out. I love these sorts of books. I can't wait to get around to reading The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I've heard those are good. I can't wait to get around to A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Those sound good as well. So I may end up doing another top 5 of magicians later in the future because I love this genre. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.